Hey everyone, happy Friday. Cinephile Mike here with the newest episode of Oscar Rewind, my bi-weekly series of videos where I revisit films that reflect the earlier work of this past year's Oscar nominees and winners. As always, I'll be discussing the awards history for the film, the box office information, the critical response, and as always, these reviews are spoiler-free. You can find all older episodes here on the YouTube channel, or you can head to my website, cinephilemike.com, to see all the other films that have been reviewed. So, today is day 52. And also, if you are joining me on posting day, today, well, yesterday, we're a little late getting this one up today, but that's all right. It was and is the beginning of New York Fashion Week. Yes, all of the fashion mavens have flocked to New York City to see all of the spring and summer 2025 fashions. So, what better way to both celebrate Fashion Week and Oscar Rewind than to discuss one of the central fashion films of our CinemaCon, Lexicon, 20th Century Fox's The Devil Wears Prada. Written by Aileen Brosh McKenna, based on the novel by Lauren Weisberger, and directed by David Frankel, the film was released in the summer of 2006. A box office smash and success. The film, which had a reported approximate budget of somewhere between 35 and $41 million, ended up making more than three times that domestically with $124,740,460 by the end of the run, an additional $201,740,460 internationally, and then, after a small re release in 2020, the film made an additional $3,816. Which means that as of this recording and this posting, The Devil Wears Prada sits with a worldwide total $326,715,791. Critically, the film was also equally loved by the critics and by the audience. As per Rotten Tomatoes, the film sits with a 75% critical rating that came from about 195 reviews and a 76% audience score, which is culled from over 250,000 reviews. Fun fact, they have recently announced a sequel is on the way. And next month in October in London's West End, we have the debut of the Devil Wears Prada musical, which stars Vanessa Williams as Miranda Priestley and features music written by one Mr. Elton John. So, even though this film came out about 18 years ago, the story is coming right back into the lexicon. Sure, we're going to be hearing a lot more about this as we go. So, why are we traipsing the halls of Fictional Runway magazine today? Well, it is for one Miss Emily Blunt. Blunt was nominated this past year for her first Oscar for Best Supporting Actress for playing the alcohol swigging former communist wife of J. Robert Oppenheimer. Yes, she was Kitty in Christopher Nolan's Opus, the explosive film that was half of the Barbenheimer battle. Many felt this nomination actually was a long time coming, and some insiders felt that she should have been nominated for the Oscar for this film all those years ago in her breakout role of Emily Charlton in Devil Wears Prada. The film introduced Blunt to her audience here and really worldwide because she had only done a few smaller British TV films and some British indie films prior to this, so this was a big break for her. Now, as for the Devil's Own awards season journey, well, it had quite a nice one. The Devil Wears Prada was nominated for two Oscars, one for Best Costumes for Patricia Field of Sex and the City fame, and the other was for the actress who played Miss Miranda Priestley herself, Meryl Streep. The role of Miranda Priestley, that nomination led to what was Meryl Streep's at the time 14 of her 21 Oscar nominations for acting. Streep was also nominated for the role by the SAG Awards, the Critics' Choice, and the BAFTAs, and she won Best Actress in a Comedy or Musical at the Golden Globe Awards. The film, which was named one of the best films of the year by both the National Board of Review and the American Film Institute, had four other BAFTA nods, including Blunt for Supporting Performance, Best Costumes for Field, Best Adapted Screenplay for Brosh McKenna, and Best Makeup and Hair, as well as two other Golden Globe nominations. Again, Blunt for Supporting Actress and Best Motion Picture, Musical, or Comedy, in addition to a wide variety of other smaller film festivals, MTV Awards, fan awards, lots of nominations, and a few wins here and there. So this was a little bit of an award season darling, which wasn't necessarily the intention when the film was first done. So, what's it about? Without spoiling, for those that may not have seen this one yet. Well, The Devil Wears Prada is the story of young, eager to be a journalist Andy Sachs. She doesn't need law school, she wants to be a reporter. Played with that wide eyed ingenue innocence by Anne Hathaway that we have known to love her for. And from one phone call and two interesting interviews, one with the rather snooty assistant to the editor, Emily, played by Blunt, and the other by Streep's Miranda herself, Andy will end up with a job as Miranda's second assistant at Runway, the leading fashion magazine in the world. And for those in the know, the book is loosely based, depending on your definition, on Weinberger's own experiences working for Anna Wintour, under Anna Wintour at Vogue. So you have that. Believing that this is her big break because they say, work for Miranda a year, you can go anywhere. She throws herself into her new job with abandon, despite the challenges that arise with her relationship with Nate, played by Adrian Grenier, or with her friends Lily, played by Tracy Toms, and Doug, played by Rich Sommer. Andy feels that, with her spunk, her can do attitude, she can make this work. It's not always easy, but she can do this. Right? Maybe? I mean, Miranda is not very easy to work for, and Emily does not do much to help. She has one goal on her mind: get to Paris for Fashion Week and hope that Andy doesn't screw up too badly. So, Andy needs a friend. Who does she rely on? Well, he's got to rely on who becomes her new office bestie, Nigel, played by the scenery chewing Stanley Tucci, to play the role that she is working in, that she has been hired for. And by putting on that first pair of shoes, Andy becomes the name she's been called, Andrea. This transformation seems a bit harmless at first, but as she continues to be around designers like James Holt, played by Daniel Sunjata, or be able to be with other sophisticated journalists like Christian Thompson, played by Simon Baker, as she falls more and more down the rabbit hole, she needs to decide, who is she? Is she going to become this new Andrea? Or will she be Andy? What does she value? I'm going to leave that there. Right off, I have to say, this film is just, it's a lot of fun. The whole cast is game, and they give us a world of wonderful characters to root for and also to love to hate. You never hate any of them, but you love to hate some of their attitudes. Blunt is outstanding in her breakthrough role. She plays this chilly assistant with the hard shell that you try to penetrate, and she's so good with the quips and the snark that you can't help but laugh. Also, Stanley Tucci, I said, scenery chewing. He steals the scenes he's in as a larger than life Nigel. He is a joy to watch. And Hathaway, she has to carry the whole film on her hands, right? On her shoulders. She's our protagonist. She's the one that we're with. And she does a fair job, but she is sometimes often outshined a bit by Blunt and Tucci. And I think it goes without saying. I mean, this is Streep's show. She, if looks could kill, I mean, she would probably kill all of us because she plays this character with a soft spoken voice, but with a look. And the cinematographer, Florian Ballhaus, he fills the screen so often when we're with Miranda with close ups of her reactions, sometimes more so than her dialogue. So you really feel the impact of this character coming through. There's no one quite as on top of their game as per usual as Streep is. And visually, I have to say, while the sets, yes, enjoying that, higher upper class business chic world of New York City is a delight. The clothing, the costumes, Patricia Field. I mean, if there's anyone who's more iconic in New York City than her in fashion with costuming, I would be remiss if I could come up with one. So she clearly knew exactly how to dress all of these characters to really give the film a truly authentic New York feel. So, where do else do I feel this film falls a little short, unfortunately? It's a little bit in the story. Now the story is obviously a bit exaggerated. You know, Weinberg wanted to satirize the fashion industry and play this up for comedy. And despite some clever scenes, it doesn't quite land because the film doesn't quite want to go as dark and biting as it could. It plays it a little safe at times. And also, given that the film is 100 minutes long, we have to go with Andy on her journey. We have to see the impact on how, this new job affects her relationships, but you wonder if there's a few too many people that we're trying to keep up with to see how it impacts. And as a result, some fall by the wayside and the film loses some of the book's central plots. I mean, we know book adaptations not always strong and they have to take creative licensing, but there were a few things here that I felt could have made the film a little stronger if they had kind of stuck to some of the plot lines. So, for those that have seen the film and are fans of it or haven't seen it yet, I recommend that you read the book, even if you've seen the film already, because it's quite a nice, interesting way to compare and contrast. There are much different qualities to certain characters that will make you appreciate the whole story in another way. So look, I'm not gonna harp on it as a bad film. It is enjoyable, and my rating is going to reflect the film critically, not the book, though I do recommend the book highly. The film, again, it's fun. If you know what you're getting into, this is a comedy of proportions and just a girl trying to find her way in life. It's a solid 4-star film for me that is worth watching. And look, if it's one of those that pops up on screen, I'm not going to turn the channel away. There's always something fun to see, another fun wardrobe montage, a snarky quip from Blunt or Tucci. It's enjoyable. You know, come for the streep and enjoy the rest. If you would like to watch or rewatch this flick, as of this recording and posting, the film is currently streaming on Max. So there we have it. As always, if you like what you heard here, please subscribe to the channel, spread the word. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. Also, as I've said, we're starting to wind down Rewind. I've seen a few comments for films that people are requesting. I'm trying to see if I can dig them into this theme of this year's Oscar nominees and winners. If you have a film that you'd like to recommend, throw it in the comments. I will try to hit it for this season if it fits. Or maybe I'll just throw some bonus episodes in a 6 degrees fashion kind of way if I can. You never know. All right, everyone. Until next time, this is Cinephile Mike, and I'm getting tongue tied. Look, take a break, everyone, and don't forget, watch something new. Have a good one.